but it's difficult, right? Because grief comes and goes, and
Yeah.
sometimes there is like they seem to be unfinished conversations,
Mhm.
and there's a desire to reconnect, and there's all that gamut of emotions that people experience. I personally have not. I've had zero desire to. I've never felt any unfinished conversation with anyone in my life.
Really?
Yes, dead or alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And you think that's true right now as we speak?
Yeah.
Wow. How do you do it?
There's nothing more to say. Right? If something happens, we can talk about it, sure.
Okay.
But
I mean,
I mm,
that's just I don't think many people would say that. I don't know if I don't know how many people on the planet would say that if you ask them, do you feel there was unfinished conversation with anyone dead or alive, you know? So I think it's kind of remarkable.
yeah, thanks. I there was one time when I told my father, and I'm glad I had that conversation before he passed, where I said, I really think you've done everything you needed to do by me. So we're done here. Thanks.
Wow, okay. Very practical. I
Everything else
think,
was superfluous. Oh, great.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think in my case, this mentor that I was mentioning,
Right.
I do feel like there's an unfinished conversation,
Oh, okay.
right?
Tell me more about
It,
that.
mainly because I didn't get to say goodbye. It happened so suddenly, and we had worked together on like a quarterly newsletter for this nonprofit, but we weren't really connecting much deeper. It was kind of we always thought we had more time, right? Oh, I'll catch up with them. He's in India, so I'll catch up with them in 6 months, in a year, and then they're gone, and you don't have that
Right.
opportunity anymore. So maybe I wish I could tell him what a big impact he had on me,
Right.
and how he's a role model to me in so many ways.
Right.
And so, is that an unfinished conversation, or is that just wanting to convey a sense of gratitude and appreciation that this person may not know?
Mhm.
That's maybe the unfinished piece in this case.
Thanks. I can see how that might arise. But on the other hand, uh, in your quiet space and time, you could wholeheartedly offer that gratitude in your
Yes.
mind, right? Right.
Yeah. And maybe to close the loop, I talked earlier about how I was searching for some answers on around grief for this person, and I found some of that wisdom from Andrew Huberman and his
Mhm.
podcast around, realizing, leaning into the emotional memories, not numbing them. Because for a time, I tried to just say, maybe if I don't think about it as much, it won't affect me. The opposite happened. Instead, what I did was, you know, I wrote a letter to him essentially, and I
Beautiful.
said, kind of thanking him and leaning
Yeah.
into those emotional memories I had, but then also
Right.
acknowledging in that letter, I acknowledged we're separated now by space and time, and I
Yeah.
I can't access being around you anymore. But
Right.
thank you for all of this, and so that gave me a little bit of peace.
Right.
So I guess I
Yeah.
did finish the conversation, maybe just
Yeah.
posthumously, right, for this person.
That's beautiful.